Hi, everybody. I'm Pratibha Agarwal. I'm an immigration attorney. I am based right outside of Washington, D.C. in Arlington, Virginia. Our clients, however, are all over the U.S. They range from coast to coast. If you're watching, feel free to drop a line um, on on where you are, where you're located. I would love to see where people are watching from. So our clients are all over the United States, all over the world. And that's because immigration is a federal practice. It's considered a federal practice. So essentially, as long as your lawyer is in good standing in one state in the U.S., we can represent you no matter where you are located. So for our firm, we only practice immigration. We don't practice anything other than immigration. But while we practice immigration, we practice family-based immigration, humanitarian cases, so victims of abuse, people that are victims of crime looking for green cards and visas. We also represent employers that are petitioning for H-1Bs, students. So we really run the gamut with the type of immigration that we practice. We can certainly help you with your immigration case. If you would like to give us a call for a consultation, that's the first place to start. So if you are interested in receiving some kind of immigration benefit, if you're trying to understand your immigration options, the best thing for you to do is schedule a consultation. And the consultation is completed either by Zoom or by phone, so it really doesn't matter where you're located. By Zoom, it'll be kind of like this, where you and I will have time to just chat specifically about your immigration history and your immigration goals. So the best thing for you to do if you have immigration goals, if you're trying to get immigration benefits, change your status, or if you have questions, is to schedule a consultation where we can just run through in great detail about your immigration history, what you're trying to accomplish, your experiences, and go through really what you might be eligible for. If you're just joining, my name is Pratibha Agarwal, and I'm an immigration lawyer based outside of Washington, D.C. Our clients, however, are all through the U.S. Thank you for joining. Hi, Unruly Cooley. Nice to see you. Great. Hi, Estewin Lopez. Nice to see you. So we're streaming today live on both Facebook and on TikTok. Just as a general disclaimer, the information that I provide today is general information. For me to be able to give you legal advice specific to you, we would need to schedule a consultation. Happy to answer your questions as best I can given this forum, but just know, of course, that everything is not confidential or privileged because we have many viewers watching right now. Okay. Hi, Pearl. Hi, Diva Queen. Hi, Steve Khan. Hi, Onkar Singh. Hi, Ariana. Hi, Gaurav. Hi, Sam Love. So feel free to put your questions in, and I will, start off with some of the things that pop up in our office that might be helpful to you. Helpful to the people that are watching in how to get immigration status. So we work with many different case types. As I mentioned, we handle business immigration. We help individuals apply for their own green cards and visas, family-based immigration as well. So really, we run the gamut with immigration. We're based outside of Washington, D.C. in Arlington, Virginia. Our clients are everywhere, however. Okay. So if you want to type your question, I'm happy to answer them, but I'm going to start off with a few that come up frequently in our practice. One situation that we represent clients in pretty often is individuals who entered the United States illegally, and now they have a 21-year-old child, right? And they want papers. Essentially, they want papers. So they ask, I entered the United States illegally, but my child is a U.S. citizen and he or she is now 21 years old. What options do I have? Well, the easy answer to this, many lawyers will tell you, you do have the option of applying for a green card, but you might have to leave the United States to process that green card, right? So many people have to go through that. That's option one. There's another option for people that are eligible, however, to apply for a green card and get that green card, finish that whole process here in the United States. You do, however, have to be eligible, and this is based on the relationship that you have with your son or daughter. If you are being controlled by your son or daughter, if they're trying to control your finances, they make you pay for everything. Maybe they're don't want you to get remarried, or maybe they don't want to work and they require you to do everything for them. Maybe they make a mess. Maybe they act in anger. We don't know. Obviously, there's many different possibilities. But if you entered illegally and you have a U.S. citizen child 21 or over, there is a possibility that you might be able to apply for, receive your green card, your work permit, all in the United States. So if you or someone you know is in the situation, let's say you entered illegally or you entered with someone else's visa or passport, you may be eligible if you have a child 21 or over who is a U.S. citizen. So I would suggest call us for a consultation because you might be eligible to apply for and receive your green card in the U.S. You can reach us at 703-348-1663. That's the best way to reach us. If you call now, I think our office is open for a little while longer. If you call now, you can talk to my assistant and he can help you schedule a consultation. If you do call after hours, we're in Eastern time zone. If you call after hours, we'll still give you a call back. So feel free to leave a message. Or you can even if you just hang up, which I don't recommend that you do, because if you leave a message, we definitely know that you called. But even if you don't reach us, we will give you a call back. Okay, Sunny on Facebook is saying, hi. How long will it take after I submit an RFE for good moral character? Because if I had submitted everything 26 months ago, and you think I can get approved for I-485 the same because I filed everything together. So they can't really make a decision on good moral character until they have everything. So I don't know, Sunny, where you are in the application process. I believe based on the other questions I've seen from you, I think that maybe you do have an I-360 filed and an I-485, but I'm not sure. I'm trying to remember. But let's say you have an I-360 filed and an I-485 application pending as well, and you need good moral character. You need to show additional good moral character, right? So it just depends. So if the I-360 hasn't been approved yet, the normal time frame for that is a year to a year and a half. If you have already gotten that I-480 and you're just waiting on your I-485, the normal time frame for an I-485 is about 2 to 2.5 years. This is based on the I-360 self-petition, however. So it depends on where you are in the process. You can definitely call us and we can answer your question and get more information from you so I can figure out exactly where you are and how long it might take. Okay, if you want to schedule a consultation, you can call us at 703-348-1663. Nicholas says, if I have a 2-year conditional green card, can I travel internationally? Yes, Nicholas. So Nicholas has a green card. So if you are married less than 2 years at the time that your green card, your marriage-based green card, I should say, if you are married less than 2 years at the time that your marriage-based green card is approved, then you get a conditional 2-year green card. And then at the end of that 2 years, you have to show the government that you are still married. And you do that in a similar way to when you first get that green card. You usually have to go back and appear for an interview and you show the government that you're still married. But that 2-year conditional green card, that's what Nicholas is asking about, that is essentially the same as a permanent green card. The only difference is that it's for 2 years and not 10 years. Excuse me. So really you can travel, you can work, you have all the benefits of a green card holder. So congratulations. There are some people in this situation, and I want to bring this to your attention. There are some people who got married in good faith, not for immigration purposes. They received that 2-year conditional green card. However, the marriage falls apart. The spouse is abusive. The spouse is not what you had imagined them to be, right? And maybe the spouse then is refusing to help apply for that permanent 10-year green card. The spouse is threatening to have you deported. The spouse is doing things that you weren't expecting from them that is hurtful to you. So you may be able to remove those conditions without your spouse. So usually, if you're married less than 2 years, you will get only a 2-year green card, right? And at the end of that 2 years, you and your spouse together have to go and remove the conditions, show immigration that you are married, not just for immigration purposes, that it's a real valid marriage and it's been 2 years and you're still together, you're still in this relationship. All right. So some situations, no one plans for this, of course, but some situations come about where the marriage falls apart for various reasons. The non-immigrant, the immigrant spouse still has the option to have those conditions removed, to apply for that 10-year green card on their own. So if you or someone you know is in the situation, have them call our office. We can certainly help them move forward in applying for that permanent 10-year green card on their own without having to have their spouse involved, which would be the normal process. Okay. If you'd like, call us for a consultation. We're at 703-348-1663. Nicholas, I'm glad I answered your question. She says, thank you. Guys, I only actually have a few minutes because I have a family obligation, so I've got to run. But let me see. Nicola says, or Diva Queen says, I want to leave New York and something moving maybe to Houston. There's a typo there. Yes, you can travel on the conditional green card. I've got to run because I've got a family obligation. It was nice to see you. I hope I was able to answer some of your questions. Feel free to call our office if you'd like to schedule a consultation. Say hi to Brian. I think he's here for a little bit longer if you would like. We're open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern. Excuse me. We're open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern, but we will still call you back, leave a message, and we will certainly get in touch with you as soon as possible, probably tomorrow if we don't touch base with you today. Have a wonderful, wonderful afternoon. Kenny has an interesting question, and I feel compelled to answer it. So Kenny says, is spouse forced to get money? It's abuse. It could be. We have to figure out the situations of all of this, right? Because if you're abuse for an I-360 self-petition does not have to be physical abuse, right? So the question is, what kind of abuse qualifies you to self-petition without your spouse? So it's not just physical abuse. It could be financial control. If you're the only person that's working and the spouse is forcing you to work and support the family and refuses to work themselves, or is forcing you to hand over your paychecks, is in control of your money, that could be considered financial abuse. Then we're looking at the whole package. What is your relationship like? What are your communications like? What is the level of control, right? It doesn't always have to be physical abuse. So if you or someone you know is married to a U.S. citizen or a green card holder, they may be eligible to apply on their own for a green card, work permit, social security number, depending on the relationship with that spouse, depending on whether it can be abuse. Again, not just physical abuse. All right, guys, I have to hop off, but it was nice to see you here this afternoon. I hope you have a wonderful afternoon, evening, and I will see you soon. Like us on Facebook, follow us on TikTok if you are not already doing so. You'll be notified then whenever we go live. All right, see you soon. Bye, everyone.